Kgotla by Bessie Head. Bessie Amelia Emery Head, known as Bessie Head, was a South African writer who, though born in South Africa, is usually considered Botswana's most influential writer. She wrote novels, short fiction and autobiographical works that are infused with spiritual questioning and reflection. In Kgotla by Bessie Head we have the theme of modernity, tradition, change, struggle, jealousy, insecurity and acceptance. Taken from her The Collector of Treasures collection, the story is narrated in the third person by an unnamed narrator, and from the beginning of the story, the reader realizes that Head may be exploring the theme of modernity and change. The Kgotla is not as popular among the young people that live in the village. They appear to be more concerned with modernity and following the new bureaucratic customs that are alien to those who meet at the Kgotla. If anything, things appear to be changing in Kelep Island, Therona's world. Which may be the point that Head is attempting to make. She may be suggesting that things are changing in Botswana as a whole and not only when it comes to the Kgotla. However, it is interesting that when it comes to people's affairs, the Kgotla still has some jurisdiction, which might suggest that tradition still has its place. What also makes the reader feel as though tradition is being followed is that fact that Rose's family received some cattle from Kgotla as part of her dowry. Though Rose's marriage is no longer functional, she is also afraid to return to her homeland, as her relatives fear that should she return they will have to give the cattle back to Kgotla. The role that women play in the story may also be significant. Not one woman appears to be a member of the Kgotla. If anything, there is a sense of complete male dominance in the story. Also, Rose has to work for Kgotla. It is her responsibility to fetch water. Nobody else will perform this role. Women also appear to be undervalued, something that is noticeable when it comes to the fact of Rose running away. Kgotla waits only 3 days before he finds a replacement for Rose, Tsietso. It is as though Kgotla only needs 3 days to get over the loss of Rose, which may suggest that Kgotla never really loves Rose. There is also no doubting that Rose is struggling when it comes to her relationship with Kgotla, and it doesn't help that Tsietso is jealous of her and her relationship with Kgotla. It is this jealousy and insecurity which eventually drives Tsietso to attack Kgotla's mother, an innocent bystander to her son's fragilities who has to suffer having her ears pulled. There is also no doubting that the bandage on Kgotla's mother's head is a result of having been attacked by Tsietso. The fact that Tsietso doesn't adhere to the customs of the village and remain in grief for a year is also interesting, as the Kgotla never questioned Tsietso about this. It is as though they turn a blind eye to the fact that Tsietso doesn't adhere to tradition. Though it may also be a case that the Kgotla understand just how lonely an individual can be after they incur the death of a loved one. If anything, Tsietso's relationship with Kgotla appears to be not only based on pity as Tsietso suggests, but she may also fear being alone just as much as Kgotla does. It could also be possible that Head is suggesting that should an individual not follow the customs that their ancestors have followed, nothing but unhappiness will follow them, and it is clear that Tsietso is unhappy with her brief relationship with Kgotla. Kgotla's mother is also an interesting character, as she is the only one of the party at the Kgotla who continues to follow tradition. She knows that it is inappropriate for her son to have a relationship with Tsietso, as Tsietso has not spent a year in mourning. The end of the story is also interesting, as Head appears to be exploring the theme of acceptance. All concerned accept the ruling of the chief, who has been helped in formulating his ruling by the words of Kelep Island Therona. The fact that there is acceptance among all concerned is important, as it suggests that despite the modernity that exists around all concerned, the Kgotla is still respected and its ruling, though not law, is accepted as being appropriate. It is as though modernity and tradition are able to live by each other's side, with both having positive aspects which can be of benefit to everybody. Though the fact that the Kgotla is male-dominated suggests that it may not be as progressive as it could be. Men still dictate the course of action that should be taken. On this occasion the Kgotla may have been fair, but should it continue to be male-dominated it may find itself no longer of use to people. There is also a sense of irony at the end of the story when Kgotla tells Theorona that the finest things often come from far-off places. Though the reader is aware that Kgotla is referring to Rose, the reader suspects that Kgotla may also, without knowing it, be suggesting that the male-dominated Kgotla may have served its time, with change triggered from the outside being inevitable. End of the summary. Thank you.